Now, KCRG Sports with Jack Lido, sponsored by Deary Ford.
The guy on the right has 207 wins as a Big Ten coach. The guy on the left has 15. And he also may have his screw loose, but Curt Cignetti has turned Indiana from mediocrity to a top 15 contender. So it was the Hawkeyes trying to pull off the upset. We'll pick up this one in the second quarter. Quarterback Mark Gronowski threw an interception. Hoosiers got a touchdown early, but Gronowski responded. He marches down the field, 11 plays, 73 yards on this drive in the second quarter, taking a licking at the goal line, but punches it in. We were tied at 10 at halftime. Scary moment in the fourth as Gronowski is on the run, appears to injure himself on the tackle. Gronowski was able to warm up on the sidelines, but he didn't return to action. Drew Stevens banged home a 54-yarder on the next play. Hoosiers tied it up. Hawks need a big play, and they get it from Zach Lutmer. The Doughboys grab an interception. It's returned all the way to the IU-29, but it leads to a Drew Stevens miss, and Fernando Mendoza takes advantage for the Hoosiers. A 49-yard strike to Elijah Sarratt, I should say. Iowa close, but Indiana takes it. Chelsea Brown has a reaction from Kinnick.
With the way this game started, it did not look pretty for Iowa, but the Hawkeyes proved that they could hang with the 11th-ranked Indiana Hoosiers. What this game ultimately came down to was missed opportunities in the fourth quarter, handing the Hawkeyes their second loss on the season.
Certainly we had some miscues that hurt us and put us in a tough position.
You know, we can play with anybody. I truly believe that. And when we're on our stuff, I think we're a really good team. It just comes down to finishing, man, and, you know, that's the name of the game. You get in tight games in the fourth quarter. Who's going to be the best team in the fourth quarter? And they were the best team in the fourth quarter today.
With under 10 minutes to go and the game tied up at 13, Iowa turned to backup quarterback Hank Brown after Mark Gronowski went down with a lower body injury.
It's all about belief. You know, we had full belief in him, especially when we stepped in the huddle, you know, just seeing the way he operates in practice. And, you know, that's a big-time moment for him to step in there, and it's tough, and not everybody can do it. But, you know, I thought he handled it, you know, with poise. And
our offensive line is obviously awesome, and it was encouraging hearing him be like, listen, we've got belief in you and we trust in you.
But Brown's first drive ended in an interception by the Hoosiers.
Coach Lester always says it's a one-play life. So, you know, you play one play, move on to the next one.
The Hawkeyes got the ball back when Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza threw his first interception of the season with Zach Lutmer on the receiving end. It marked his second career pick.
Just in the right spot at the right time. You know, Xavier got some good pressure on the quarterback. He threw it high, and I was just trying to help the team any way I could.
The Hawkeyes attempted to turn the drive into points and take the lead in the game, but Drew Stevens missed a 42-yard field goal, frustrating for the kicker who drilled a 54-yarder earlier in the game. Iowa's defense limited this Indiana team, who came into this game averaging more than 54 points to just 20 on the day, but missed tackles is what helped the Hoosiers stay undefeated.
We've got to get better at tackling, and it just seems to me like, you know, a lot of it's more the inexperienced guys that haven't had as much game competition. And typically, you know, bad angles are usually where your eyes are.
We all just got to look at the plays that we missed out on. I think, you know, every single time you play football, whether you're middle school football, high school football, you know, you always leave some plays out there. You know, they're a great team, but I think we're just as good as them. And it just comes down to the daily discipline.
Up next, Iowa enters their bye week, which could come at a good time with the injuries that they dealt with against Indiana. But then they will hit the road for a trophy game at Wisconsin. Reporting in Iowa City, I'm Chelsea Brown for KCRG TV9 Sports.